Let's go to Margot in Chicago. What's up, Margot in Chicago?
Hi, Dr. John. How are you?
Good. How are you?
It is such a pleasure to talk to you. I stumbled upon you about 2 years ago, and I'm just utterly obsessed, I guess I could say.
That makes my heart feel good. Thank you.
Thank you. You've made me feel so good in the past couple of years, too. I appreciate all the work that you do.
Awesome. So how can I help you today?
So I have a question that I just need a little bit help sorting out.
Okay.
Long story short, I'm trying to help my mom feel better and not be so brokenhearted, and myself as well, by some major disrespect my brother and his wife had caused within the last 3 weeks or so.
Okay. Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yep. Yes, please.
Does your mom want to feel better?
Yeah, for sure.
Does she recognize that something has happened to her that was wrong?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. I just want to make sure you weren't trying to solve a problem that your mom didn't think needed solving. Okay.
No.
So what'd your brother do?
She also does. Long story short, just some back history. So it's always been me, my mom, and my brother since 20 years now. My dad died when I was 16 and he was 8. So it's just been the three of us, helping each other, taking care of each other, always had each other's back. We've always had a very strong family bond. It's been a beautiful thing. I considered him one of my best friends and so forth. So about 4 years ago, I bought a house and I told my mom and my brother, come live with me. My mom is older and retired and has been retired since my dad died. And I'm like, it's time for me to, take care of her. So she's living with me. And then my brother came too. And I had a beautiful furnished basement that I just let him live in because he's a good kid. And, okay, so speed up the process a little. He ended up meeting this girl. And they ended up getting married, and okay, that's fine, do your thing. But ever since I've been married, it's like she just keeps trying to take him away and away and further away. And I just don't understand why. I feel like she's come from a very family-oriented place. I don't understand why all of a sudden that's going on. So my point is, they've been very distant. Anytime we have an event or a birthday party for my kids, I have 2 kids and they're obsessed with them, as they should be. And it's just so disappointing. They won't come. They'll come 3 hours late. They won't show up at all. And it's not really like my brother. So I've had conversations a couple of times, like, what is going on? Like, you guys, can we just get it together? And you guys are 20-something years old. You aren't children anymore. Like, if you don't want to come, just let me know. I kind of sit here and plan my schedules around my kids' naps or activities or whatever may need to be done. They don't have any children or anything like that. So, maybe it's hard for them to understand that. Christmas time came, and after Christmas, I had tried reaching out to my brother a couple of times. He wasn't answering. She wasn't answering. I was starting to get worried. And so I had just sent a text and said, listen, if you guys don't respond, I'm going to do a wellness check on you. Somebody respond to me. And then finally my brother called me and I could just tell in his tone something was wrong. And I'm like, what is going on? And he just said, he's like, I'm frustrated. He's like, every time we leave your house, he's like, me and Monse, that's his wife, always get into a fight. I'm like, about what? He's like, because she doesn't feel welcomed. She just doesn't feel comfortable. Mind you, Dr. John, every time this girl comes over, she's on her phone from the minute she walks in to the minute she leaves. So,
hey, Margot, I can tell in this phone call, you don't like her.
I don't, but it's because of all this drama.
I know. Hold on.
I have put it all aside and been very nice to the girl. I promise you.
No, I know.
I didn't want to get into a fight with my brother about her.
I know that you are nice to her. I don't think that at all. I don't think you're disrespectful at all. But I can tell you don't like her. And it sounds like you had a very clear picture of what you wanted this thing to look like. This thing being y'all's family. And
I guess I just don't understand why we can't all just be together and celebrate the holidays. And
it's not what it is.
Why is that a problem?
It's not. what you're asking for is, why can't everybody's life be how I want it to be? Why can't I have a picture of how I want my life to look, and why can't everybody just live into my picture? And it's normal for somebody to get married and get distant. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean you love it. You clearly miss your brother. But it doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing. See what I'm saying? You have made this it's not a rejection of you, Margot. It feels like you're taking this really personally.
Well, I kind of am, because now, a couple of weeks ago, I had called him and I hadn't talked to him since the holidays. And I need help with my mom. Her mobility is not the greatest. Things are getting difficult for me. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old that I'm also taking care of.
Okay. Is your mom still living with you now?
Yeah, she is.
Okay. All right.
Taking care of her is becoming a little bit harder. So all I asked for, because I'm trying to sell my house, was for him to maybe hang out with her Saturday and Sunday so I could sleep for work, because I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Whew, are you a nurse?
Yeah.
Or a doctor?
Yeah, I'm a nurse.
Awesome.
And so I called him and it was like, hey, I was just wondering if you could help me out with Mom. I'm putting up the house for sale. I was like, it would be a little bit easier if you could hang out with Mom for a few hours. That way, Edwin, who's my boyfriend, could take the 2 kids and he could go do his thing. And maybe you could hang out with Mom for a little bit. That way I could just sleep, because I'm not going to have my boyfriend take care of my mom and the 2 kids. Like,
sure. So get to what happened. So what happened?
So he's like, okay, yeah, for sure. I was like, go home, talk to Mo and say, call me back and let's get a game plan. So he called me back the next morning. And I could tell he was just like, I don't feel like it's an appropriate time to help you. And I'm like, but it's more for her. I'm like, it's not really for me. I'm like, I need help for Mom. I didn't ask you to babysit my kids. I didn't ask to borrow money. I didn't ask for anything for myself. Like, I just needed help with Mom.
So your brother didn't show up. Your brother didn't show up for you. He didn't show up for your mom.
Right. So then my mom saw something on TV and she's like, could you buy me this? I was like, yeah, I'll buy it for you. So I went to go buy it and come to find out her debit card declined. And my mom usually, I don't know why, but she let him hang on to her debit card, and they've been spending all of her money for the last 2 years on their rent, on their car payment, on everything in their world.
I'm so sorry.
Took screenshots. I had to confront them. I haven't heard a word from them, obviously.
You're not going to.
Embarrassed as hell.
Tell me how I can help.
I just don't know what I can do to tell my mom, because my mom keeps trying to call him. Mm-hmm. He's not answering. And I'm like, Mom, you're just going to have to leave it alone. And she just doesn't understand why.
Okay,
I keep telling her.
Here's the full stop truth, okay? Your brother's a thief.
Yeah.
And he's not a person of honor.
Yeah.
And you are going to have to grieve that at some point, okay? Right now, you need to have your mom move the bank account into your name.
I did.
Okay, good. So he's cut off, right?
Yeah.
Until he decides, that relationship is over. It's kaput. Okay? Any sort of calling or cathartic, like I'll tell you, or confrontation, that won't make you feel better, and it's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. Okay? So the best you can do you could call the police and report him as a thief. They would he's going to say, Mom told me I could, and she's going to say, I don't remember, or I don't think so, but she's not going to want to put her own son in jail. And so you can call the police. You can do that. But here's the deal. Your brother's a thief, and he stole from his own mother.
Yeah.
And it's gross, and it's sad, and it's heartbreaking, and I hate that y'all had to go through this. The question is more, how are we going to move forward?
Yeah,
You
that's the
particularly
question.
moving forward, not with him not in your life. You're going to have to let that picture go.
Okay.
And I'm really, really sorry.
Me too. It's a shame.
It's such a shame. But listen, that anger, you've heard the story, that line, but I'll give it to you again. Being as angry as you are at him is just like poisoning yourself, hoping he gets sick.
Yeah.
All you're doing is creating chaos in the home of your 4 and 2-year-old. Don't give them that.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to write 2 different letters to your brother, neither of which you're going to send. Okay? The first letter is a letter of anger, a letter of rage. Here's what you did. The second letter is a letter of forgiveness. And here's all forgiveness is. It doesn't mean what he did was right. It doesn't mean that he will ever step foot in your home again. He'll ever have access to your mom or mom's money again. None of that. If you think about what he did, he came and threw a giant cinder block into your lap and said, you know what, sister, you deal with this. And all forgiveness is you standing up and saying, I'm not going to carry your brick anymore. Okay? Free yourself of that. And I know I'm making it sound way easier than it is. It's going to be hard. It's going to be brutal. You're going to have to grieve the fact that your brother is not a person of character. I just threw a lot at you. Tell me how you're feeling.
No, I mean, I feel better, actually, just getting it off my chest. I mean, there was like a lot of different aspects to how I was feeling. And I feel like in my own mind, I guess, feel just very disrespected because I've done a lot for him, and for him to not even.
Margot, you were deeply, deeply disrespected. You were. Grossly so.
I'm just getting tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm home Monday through Friday with my kids, which, I'm grateful for. And then I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I'm worried about my mom, and he won't help me. And
Listen. I wrote down right here on my notes, exhausted. Have you been a nurse for the last few years in Chicago?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, you have been living in the depths of the furnace of hell. And by the way, you know what we should do? Let's have a second kid. Let's do that.
Right.
And mom's falling apart right underneath our very eyes. Right? So
Yeah.
none of those things we can change. What we can change is, okay, brother's a variable, it's out of the equation. Where are other places I can get help? I can get support? Are there city resources? Are there government resources? Are there work resources?
Yeah.
Is dad in the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I guess boyfriend's in the picture?
Yeah.
Okay. Or is he the kid's dad?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. He can take a more prominent role, right? So here's what we do. Let's stop thinking about what brother's not doing every time, and let's start focusing on the solutions, because you're right. You're exhausted, and you cannot keep running like you're running. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay. So I want you to build a wellness strategy for Margot. What does a world look like where Margot gets sleep? What is a world where Margot gets to laugh every once in a while? Where Margot, yes, she loves her kids, but she gets a night or two off from them? Where Margot goes on dates again? Where Margot gets help with mom? Hear what I'm saying?
I do.
Will you love Margot enough to build that world?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know you can't afford it, and I don't have time to do it. I know all those things. But I'm telling you is, you gotta figure that out. Whether it's trading with some of your fellow nurses, whether it's telling boyfriend, hey, we're not going to play house anymore. We're getting married and you're going to have to get another job. Whatever. I don't know what it looks like. But if he's going to be in, he needs to be all in. And then he's going to be helping his mother-in-law too. But you're trying to hold all this together yourself and you can't. You can't. Write the 2 letters to your brother. Then put him in a fire pit. Put him in a shredder. Get rid of him. Commit to not carrying that stuff anymore. Your brother's a thief. He stole from you. He stole from your mom. And then be about creating a world where Margot is well. You've been running for 3 years now. It's time. It's time. That'll be a great gift to your kids, to your mom, and it'll be a great gift to you.